Of course, from 8 a.m. till about 5:30 p.m. in the evening. Of course, it's starting with the 20 kilometers race walk, the women's final, followed by the men. The 100 meters hurdles women heptathlon. It's going to be having a discus women final, also 100 meters hurdles women's heat, and all that, the high jump, the 5,000 meters. And of course, tomorrow we'll also witness the 100 meters final, men and women. And of course, on Friday, that's the highlight of the day. That's going to be towards the end of the day. Then on Friday, the 200 meters men and women final. Last week, they didn't run the 200 meters, but this time around, it's going to be the 200 meters. So all the athletes, everyone, definitely are coming for this one. Because some of them missed the last one. The likes of Blessing Okagbare, Regina George, were then the one because they had to compete at the London anniversary, which happened last week. Blessing Okagbare, of course, finished second in that one. So most of them would definitely want to be here for the World Championships, but at least to just give hope to the home lads. And we're just hoping that the home lads should be able to at least dominate to a certain extent. Because in 400 meters in men, you have one Nathaniel actually winning ahead of some other guys, Simpson and all that, who came in from the US and all. So if they can give you a good run for the money, you can have it.
Are you expecting that we'll have a good show in Warri? Considering the fact that this is just last minute arrangements in terms of the facilities on the ground and how well we will be able to shift our mindset from what's been going on in Calabar for the past 4 or 5 years to Warri at short notice.
Yeah, I think, after, when we saw pictures from the Warri Grand Prix and how it was hosted and how they were able to do that.
But that's a smaller event.
It's still the same. You had athletes from other countries coming in. You had from US, from Qatar, from Botswana, Mozambique and all that coming in. But this one is just Nigerian. So I think it will be easier for them this time around. Although you're going to be having a larger
pool of athletes.
That's the thing. And also more competitions in this one. But it's a 2-day event. That was just a 1-day meet. But this is a 2-day event. Athletes arrived today. Opening ceremonies and all that were all done today. So tomorrow, just straight up, and they're going to, once they start early, they should be able to do that because they said they already have the hotel accommodations, transportation. They had to partner with the Delta State transport system to convey athletes to the stadium. And where the stadium is actually situated, just like in Calabar, is within the town. It's not outside the outskirts of the city. So it's within the city. So movement will definitely going to be easy. And in Warri, I mean, the way it's located, you don't really have much traffic there. So they should be able to navigate that, get the athletes from their hotels.
So ensure that it will be a good tournament.
Definitely, that's what we're hoping. According to them, they say Warri they carry last. So whatever they want to host, they really want to bring out the best in themselves. Because for Calabar to have, Cross River State not to have enough money to honor their own. So if Delta State is able to do it and do it well, I think maybe from next year you might just be having, no more Calabar CA. It's going to be...
The Calabar deal is even ending this year.
It's ended this year. So at the end of the day...
Since they don't have money to even conclude the final year, I think it will be good for the AFN to begin to look elsewhere. And maybe also look for corporate support so that they can host their event wherever and whenever they want to host those events.
Going to come there. I think that's what AFN should do. Don't just rely on government, because sometimes they can really disappoint. When you're having one government changing hands, the other one can come and say, look, whatever the former government have been doing, I don't have the money to continue.
It's not even a fault of the government. I don't even want to say it as a fault of the government. All of us are aware of what is going on, Austin. Even salaries for civil servants are difficult to come by these days. So I don't really want us to put the blame on the Cross River State government that they used to bring the money out, but now the money is not there.
That government took over in May. You had the whole of June. Why was it that it was July that they're now like, okay, I'm thinking this is something you've been doing.
Sure.
That is it.
Athletics, this is sport. When you brand, it's what we keep saying. When you're not branding properly, you're not going to attract sponsorship. And you are saying you're going to do your competition, you postpone, you bring it the other day,
falling oil prices.
You're not respecting standards.
Falling oil prices.
Okay, we know that now. The last time they hosted last year, if the secondary schools that participated, that's what they don't understand. You know how much joy the boys and girls get from this competition, because once you're hosting, you have opportunity of having all the schools in your state, running with other athletes. For you to have, that's the thing. It's also there. So that's another thing. If you're Blessing Okagbare was discovered through when they ran all African games. I mean, she was in secondary school. She came to just run, and it wasn't like it was a major competition and all that. She came to run. Exactly. So you can also have athletes from your own secondary school.
There are gains and there are losses.
Definitely.
Anyway, I'm sure in the days ahead, the AFN will be able to work around things like this. But also, let's come quickly. We talk so much about other people, we hardly talk about ourselves. I'm talking about sport writers. And today, the Lagos State chapter of the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, put together a seminar. They brought everybody who is anybody. The DG, National Sports Commission, the Secretary General of the Nigeria Olympic Committee, Tunde Popola, the President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick. Everybody came around just to talk about Nigerian sports. And that's Alassane Yakmut. And some top members of the AIPS, international body, Michel Obi, the chairman of Lagos SWAN himself, Fred Edore. Everybody came together to draw up and talk about Nigerian sports, which is amazing. Austin, you were there, and you said the seminar had plenty of highlights. That's it.
It's about time for us to talk about the future of our sports, and that's actually the theme of this year's Lagos SWAN Week. Remember, we're celebrating the SWAN Week. The Director General of the National Sports Commission spoke about funding sports in Nigeria, which is a major.
Is that what we're talking about now?
What we just finished talking about, because you can't talk about funding when you're not designing or branding in a special way that will make corporate sponsorship bring funding into sports. So it was a very, very critical issue. He spoke about it, and he spoke about the need for us to also enhance our athletes. You're talking about Asisat Oshoala. Just imagine if she's from England or the United States. You would not believe what they would have even done with Asisat Oshoala, in terms of even merchandising. You wouldn't even believe how much jersey of Asisat Oshoala you have. I spoke about Joachim Löw and how much money it brings to the German Football Federation. Coach, we won the 2013 AFCON. What did we do with it? With branding. What money did we make out of it? Some of our players are superstars. They are names. You can actually look for ways that you can even take them along and do marketing for our football and ensure that we get some revenue. And with that, when you're going to companies, they will see the need to actually fund our sports. So the DG spoke about that. But the president of the Nigerian Football Federation touched it a little bit further, speaking about globalization of Nigerian sports. And then we found out that a major problem is the too much attention on football. It is sports. So we should be giving it someone. Bring it back home. Aruna Quadri. You need to see how people are chasing him abroad to speak to him. They want to understand the sort of rise he had in 2014. What did we do with Aruna Quadri? Segun Toriola is a big name. Chika Chukwumerije is the name in Taekwondo. What have we done with them? You get what I'm saying? So it's about time we start looking for ways that will bring out policies that will respect our athletes. I remember as a child, you dreamed to see Samuel Okparaji because of the things you heard about him. You know, back in the days, the media played a very big role. And for us, it was a big challenge because they're saying it's a challenge for the Nigerian media. How can we change it to globalize our sports so that people will not just know that as football? People, we should be able to speak about Blessing Akagbare the same we'll talk about Mikel Obi and put them in the same ranks because they're all bringing national pride and glory to the country. So the DG did a lot of good work talking about funding, that if we don't get funding right, Toyin, me, you, and Cecilia will just keep talking, and nothing is coming out of it.
Okay, we'll take a break now. Listen to the DG say a few things around that seminar, and maybe some other persons as well. We'll just listen to them very briefly, and then we'll come back to continue sports tonight. But when we're back, after that break, Austin will go and start looking for the money for us to prosecute our programs.
I think my part is to globalize. No, because I'm part of the media.
We'll tell him to go look.
The NSC will look for the money.
Okay. We'll tell him to go package that. We'll get the money. Onye Ushachukwu will be joining us then. But let's take that break and listen to some of these speakers, and then we'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
It's very critical to look at funding because financial support is one factor that cannot be ignored in sports development. And in sports business, it has a multilateral approach. Apart from the fact that there is public provision for it through the appropriation, there's also a lot of revenue stream in merchandising, in television rights, in official suppliers and service providers, as well as terrestrial telecast. Name it. If you explore such opportunities, then sports will get to the greater heights, and there will be more opportunities for youngsters to display their natural, distinctive natural ability through sports. And job creation will be promoted. Then I think we won't have any more miscreants in the society if we get them well funded and supported.
Did you talk to me about branding? A lot of us